Her parents were frazzled but tried not to freak as Ada grew bigger and still did not.
He's taking out his toy.
Yeah. And as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak, clearly young Ada with lots in her head would have something to say when it ought to be said. That's just what happened when
Ada... he climbed up the top.
Up the clock, yeah.
Why?
I'm not sure. Let's find out. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree.
How did he do that?
I don't know. We didn't see it. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree and climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as all good parents would. Ada's chin quivered, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath and she simply asked, "Why? Why does it tick and why does it talk? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock?" Yeah. Why are there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are there hairs up the inside of your nose?
Because there's sometimes hair up top.
Yeah, sometimes we get hair, right?
She started with why and then what, how and when. By bedtime she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You'll figure it out." Her parents kept up with her high-flying kid. Yeah, she did. Whose questions and chaos both grew as she did.
Ow.
Even Miss Greer found her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She held all the traits of a very good scientist.
All his names.
I don't know all the names, but that's Ada. And that's the teacher over here.
Yeah, and there's, who's that with the
Rosie
Revere, engineer.
Oh.
Yeah, and let's see, can we find Iggy Peck? There he is, see his hair? And look who's that way back in the back. Remember Sophia Valdez?
Ooh.
There's stories on each of them.
Oh. He's going to play tennis. Ada was busy that first day of spring. Yep. Testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing. When a horrible stench whacked her right in the nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. "Zowie," said Ada, which got her to thinking, what is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know there's something to smell?
To sneeze.
Oh. And how does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She'd start at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. Oh, look at that.
What?
Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both the stinky and the good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. Ooh. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. Then zowie, the stink struck again, just like that. Hypothesis 2, it's caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop." How would come you? Why would they have called stop? She was putting the kitty in the dryer. That's not right.
Yeah, I want them to put my dogs in the dryer.
Very good. Ada Marie.
It's only for clothes.
Right. Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now. By the time we count 3. "Enough," said her mother. "That's it," said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. "Why?" Ada questioned. Her mother said no. "What?" Ada queried. Her father said go. "You've ruined our supper. You've made the cat stink. Enough with your questions. Now sit there and think." She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. She sat all alone by herself in the hall. And Ada once more could say nothing at all. So Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat.
What does she do? What the cat is,
She's figuring.
what the cat is doing?
He's just questioning what the heck she's doing. And she thought about science and Stu and the cat and how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked two. And each of those led her to 3 questions more, and some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped her chin. She started why, and then what, how, when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair was now the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did.
Maybe kettle down the wall.
She wrote a lot of things on there to figure things out.
We don't draw. We don't write on the wall.
We don't, yeah. We can use a piece of paper, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we can write on some cement on some driveways.
Yes.
But not on the wall.
No.
It will be serious.
They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, we'll figure it out.
Look.
Yeah, there's more books. Here's the rest of the story. And that's what they did because that's what you do when your kid has a passion.
Sliding on.
Uh-huh. And your heart is true.
Huge paper.
Right. They remade their world. Now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She asks lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. Yeah, she got some good paper to do her writing on. And as for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in grade 10? Oh. Will they discover?
Aggie Peck, architect, and Ada Twist, and was even there.
Okay. And but learn all she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls your toes?
Scientist. I watched. It was some anthem.
Okay. You saw that on TV?
Yeah.
Oh,
I read
okay.
a series about the books.
Oh. Well, that is the question, and someday, who knows? And very good. It makes you think, doesn't it? Oh, I see there's more of them. Iggy Peck and Rosie Revere.
And then Iggy.
There's Iggy.
Iggy, and then
Ada.
Ada, and then Iggy Peck, also
Rosie.
Rosie Revere.
Right.
And Sophia.
That's not in there, but yeah, we have
Oh.
Sophia Valdez, Future Prez.
Oh.
And then there's a new one that's coming out November 2nd that I already pre-ordered. It's
What
like
is
an
Cool.
illustrator one. Something.
Nice book. Do you get paper to write on?
There's no paper on that one.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay. Give Grandma hugs. Tell her night night. Aaron Slater.